important is technology such as high-speed broadband to ancient monuments like the castle?
I mean, some of the things the ways that we're going to be interpreting the stories at the castle, we'll be using, sort of technology, and although we'll still have guides that show people around, we also want people to have PDAs so they can self-guide around, particularly on the walls, because that means that you then don't have to put in lots of display panels, which actually kind of spoil that feel. So you can keep things very clean and simple if you actually have a handheld. So all your interpretation.
So people could be walking around those castle walls with a little tablet device, and that could be showing them various stories, maybe doing overlays.
Absolutely, yeah, that's
fantastic.
That's the intention of how we're going to do the interpretation on the walls, and that sort of suits English heritage because we're not putting up loads of panels and things that kind of slightly mess things up, get a very cluttered look. You'll have all your information with you. And then we're having something called the Archive Explorer, which is sort of like an internet cafe within the prison, because we have more stories than we have got space to tell, and even the stories that we will be telling, you might want more. So you can, a brilliant example at the National Gallery, is you can sit down with a sort of cup of coffee at a screen, and you can kind of go into more detail into whether it's the Romans or whether it's the Victorian prisoners or King John or
so you're using technology to get this stuff out in a way that's accessible and immediate and also doesn't have an impact on the environment.
No. So,
which is very important for an ancient monument, as you say, you don't want to keep putting stuff up everywhere.
So again, in the prison, we could, actually choosing 5 prisoners that we will tell the stories of. Yeah. Getting it down to 5 is a sort of, a nightmare really, because we've got way more stories.
You've got too many stories.
We can use the Archive Explorer, so you can, and actually it's a big site, so actually you probably will want to sit down and have a cup of coffee, and sit down at a screen and just go, actually, what other prisoners were there? And, because there were children there and there were women and, men, varieties of things, they were transported, they were sometimes they were found not guilty, they were hung,
Sounds like a perfect mix of the old and modern. I look forward to it. Mary,
thank you.
Thanks very much.